It's another day in the hellscape on Earth, which is a fancy way of saying it's hot. It's gonna be hot again tomorrow, and if these frauds at the weather departments are to be believed, it should cool down over the weekend. But they're hacks and frauds, and I don't know if I want to believe them or not. Well, I want to believe them, of course, but I don't know if I should. In any case, we're here to do video games for 2 hours, regardless of the heat. Right, so yesterday we implemented a star and worked on, well, started thinking about how to actually do the movement of the character along a path calculated by a star, and it got kind of sort of there. The jump calculation stuff was way off though, so didn't go too far. Today I spent a bit of time before it got too hot and I couldn't be bothered to do anything, revising things and making it actually work. So now things are good. So if we Genesis our stuff here, so now if I select the player and I say I want to go here, then the player will do so. There you go. And I can say go here, and they will also do so. Hooray! And if I now say go here, then it'll throw an error. Because
Amazing.
the graph is bipartite. Bipartite, as we call it in Germans. And you can see the reason if you look at the graph displayed here. There is no connection between this graph here and this upper graph here. One thing is weird, I don't know why these jump nodes are visible. I don't think these should be possible, but... No, not better tight. Bipartite. 2 parts. Bipartite. Anyway. Yeah. So things work pretty well. What it doesn't deal with yet is slopes. It might deal with them, I don't know.
Pariate.
Stop. Let's see. It should also handle updating of the graph, so I can add things. And that should work fine. It's a bit laggy, because it's, you know, nothing is optimized, but you can do it. Okay. Let's see. Interesting. It already exists. So this is one of the problems that I was working on before it got too hot. Namely, sometimes it can try to add an equivalent jump. And I can prevent that from happening by saying, well, I had to work on the flow library a bit to add explicit error conditions. So flow connection already exists. So this way I can simply ignore that from happening. There you go. Oof, that's a weird ass graph. Why is that? Oh my god. Okay. Yeah. So it doesn't know that it can go up a slope right now, so it'll just jump there if I use that. Yeah. Or it'll try, in the very least. Yeah, something like that. So that's weird. Yeah. So slopes is a thing it can't deal with yet. How can we deal with that? That's a question. But before I actually go into any of that, I need to finish up flow. Need to actually document these things and put them in so that the feature is finished. Let's listen to some Katana Zero while we wait for that. Oh boy. Alright, that shouldn't be much of a problem. Won't be very interesting, but I hope to get this done quickly, so that's not too boring. Turns the Oh. If you want to know what it's like to, I'm one of those people that actually writes some amount of documentation for his libraries, and if you want to know what that's like, this is literally it. I just have the files open side by side, and then I type a bunch of shit until I'm done with everything. And it's really, really boring most of the time. But you gotta do it. It's got to be done.
Very mechanical work, indeed.
Yep, just gotta go through it all. But it's not only just good for the users, it's also good for yourself to remember later. And usually there's at least a couple of naming problems that you notice while writing documentations, or even architectural problems that show up, or slight improvements you could make. So in my opinion, it's a very good thing to do, even if it is boring. Shit, I never exported these functions. Whoops. Yeah, I know. But as you can see, it should cool down over the weekend. But yeah. Honestly, the collection of algorithms exported by Flow is pretty poor. There's a lot of graph algorithms that it could implement based on its system. It's just, so far I've only done what I've needed, which is not great for a library. Typically you should go a bit beyond what you need immediately yourself. regen docs right now. It's whatever. Okay, so that's wrapped up. Great. Goody good. I really don't like how deep this function goes. It's gross. Very gross. Well, anyway. Alright, so problem of slopes. That is the deal. It's gotta be in here somehow. Slopes of some kind. Okay, so it inserts a walk edge there as well, which is not good. I really don't understand why it's making these jump arcs. Because I don't get it. After there is a single one, there should be a connection already, so it shouldn't do more than one. But it do. Think for a second. about the best way of doing this. Actually, maybe it was alright before. But I'm just gonna add an additional pass that scans through and connects these up. Sort of very similar to how the falling edges and things like that work. Might even need a different edge type. I'll go into the details on how the movement works in a bit. I want to get this going first. So let's add a new thing here. Create slope connections. So if we have a slope, then depending on the slope type, so hold on. So, where is the surface? There it is. So, 0 is empty, 1 is a block, 2 is a platform, 3 is a spike, and 4 is the first tile. And actually here we have 5. Let's just make a case. So we're gonna connect the node that's above it and the one that's to the right of it. So node. Or in this case, make a walk edge for now. Add that in here. Well, didn't work. 1 plus cell phone. Connection already exists. What? Why? Which connection? I'm so confused. Oh my god. No. Oh, it's doing a fall edge. Right. It's considered a This is a tough one to crack. Because it might have slopes at edges as well. Well, that kind of worked. Okay, except now we have a weird amount of jump edges because there's no fall edges at all. Okay, that works. But I don't get why these jump arcs exist. I still don't understand. The algorithm should be able to determine that these nodes are reachable through the falling as well. Well, that kind of works. Okay. I did not expect that to work immediately. It's weird. Unexpected immediate success. Yeah, I'll just add a fix me here for now. Oops, that's edges. Okay, right, onwards to the rest of these. So, number 4. I guess I'm gonna just do the same thing here. In this case, it has to be I'm hard coding things and I don't like it at all, but this is gotta be quite tough. 10, 12, 13, 15. Yeah. That's what I thought. So in this case, it doesn't work out as expected because the distance measurement. Okay, now is the right time to explain how this actually works. So we have A star, running A star on the graph gives us a sequence of connections to follow, as well as a starting node. What we keep track of is just the remaining path as well as the current node we're sort of on or in. And then every tick, it simply tests whether our distance to the next node, so going over the next connection to the next node, whether the distance between the player and that is sufficiently small. If that distance is small enough, we decide, okay, we've arrived at this new node, we're simply going to move on to the next one. So we're popping off one of the paths, we update the current connection and the node, and continue on as usual. Now, depending on what kind of connection we have, there's different actions that happen. So the default is a walk edge, which simply says move towards the target. And the moving towards happens by simply taking the difference in x coordinates between the two, the current location and the target, and then using either that or the intended velocity. So if the distance is smaller, then we just go that remaining step, or if it's bigger, then we go by the standard velocity. And so in that way I can get accurate and precise movement between nodes that is sort of continuous without having to worry too much about precision. But here now we have a problem because we're in a slope, and so we're not sufficiently close to this node here, but we have already done all the necessary X movement, the horizontal movement, so this move towards now does absolutely nothing because the difference is 0, but we're not at the node yet because the Y difference is too big. Now you might think that I can simply ignore the Y difference, but I cannot. The reason is that you might have things layered, so you might have to move to the right here and then to the left here, and I don't think that's going to work out always. There might be cases where there's only a Y difference, and so ignoring it is, I don't think, a good idea. What we could do is decouple them, but I don't know. What if I simply crank up this here for a bit? How big does it have to be for it to move on? 3 still not good. 5, 6, 7, really? 12? Okay. The problem with making this higher is that it might consider the next node before its time. Whoa. That was weird. so I don't want to do that. Color these in so I can actually see what's happening. It also currently disregards velocity between slopes. Does it? Yeah, it also needs to be a bit smarter about finding starting and ending nodes. Currently it's not lenient enough for that. Ideally, it should do a nearest search, but yeah, for instance, an example of why ignoring the y-coordinate for the proximity test is not feasible would be falling, because, you know, if you fall like this, then you're first gonna close up the x-gap and then just fall straight down. And you don't want to move on to whatever happens down here, like crouching while you're still falling. So, yeah. Hey, I also have an idea on how to solve the falling edge problem. No, wait, I don't. Never mind. Thought I had an idea, but it doesn't work out. Can't move the slope node either because it's not on the pixel grid. It's in the tile grid, so there's not enough precision to like move it along the slope. Could just cheat for slope specifically. seems like a kludge, but hopefully it'll work. Well, promising. Yep, works. Cool. Does it work with consecutive slopes? Whoa, the animation system is screwed up. That's probably why I changed it to be action-based rather than anything else. What is your deal now? So I don't know how that even is possible to happen. Doesn't find the target node somehow. Oh, right. Because I was clicking at the wrong place. Yep. Works just fine. Okay. That's an interesting thought. I don't know if I actually wanted to consider like costs like that, because it seems so dumb. I mean, I know it's technically the fastest in terms of distance, but it seems weird for a character to take detours like that. So I think I can help that easily though. Maybe, where is it? Namely by changing the way the A star is calculated. The cost function. By just setting that to 1. So if I try that again. So okay. No, it's still doing that. Okay. Weird. I wonder if it's because of that one other function that I hard-coded to be 1. I'm also not sure whether I actually even want to incorporate climbing into the graph. I don't expect most things to be able to climb. But first, I want to see what's up with these jump arcs, because these are not good. These ones here. Yeah, it already does the reachable test, so the only idea I have is that that's wrong somehow. Oh, I see. I see why. I see why it does that. How do I find out what music this is? You type currently playing in chat. Or you look below the stream where it has a link to current music. Yeah, the current soundtrack playing is the Katana Zero soundtrack, which is good. Very good. Good game too. Beautiful pixel art, very interesting story, and satisfying gameplay. Check it out. Check a look. Yeah, okay, I understand now why it does that. Why it generates these jump targets. So, the reason is currently the reachable test disregards jump edges entirely. The reason...
Dude, I just got home from work. I will listen to it, but I'm halfway distracted ATM.
That's okay. I didn't tell you to listen to it right now, man.
Doing a great job.
The reason I'm disregarding jump edges is because if I don't do that, then you can see what happens to the graph. You see, it only ever generates a singular jump target from each of these bipartite graphs, which is not great. I'll tell you why. For instance, consider we're standing here, and this is a jump-through platform, so obviously you would do this, right? But now there's only a jump target over there, so the only way to get there is like this, which is dumb. So, yeah. Also, there's a problem where the jump does not have the correct alignment. Where is that stuff? There it is. Good. Yeah, So I don't know what to do about that, to be honest. It's not really that big of a deal, though, if you have multiple options. So if the character can, like, jump down from here, not that big of a deal. It's fine. It's fine. Okay. Whoa, oh right. For some reason this corner here lets you like, get stuck. I don't know how that happens. It's really weird. What, again? Really? Yeah, something's still fucky with the collision detection. That little thing there that you saw, that's also annoying. Because it only ever considers the current connection. If it sort of lands in a place ahead of the target node, even though that would be further ahead in the current plan, it backtracks first to go back onto the plan. But ideally that shouldn't even happen. It's just due to misalignment between what it projects the jump to be and what it actually is. I think. I'm not entirely sure. Yeah. Okay, so next I want to improve the way it discovers the actual targets and stuff. Specifically, it needs to do a sort of a search around the area rather than simply considering the only current location. I suppose what I could just do is search along the y-axis downward. Seems like the easiest way of doing it. So, let's say... now we can do a thing where How does the editor do the thing? Update. Pause. Okay, we don't need the lost one. Let me just copy this. Tricked you. Okay. Nice. It's even fast enough to, oop, got stuck. To do real-time updates. Nice. I wonder how many times I can do that in one frame, because if you have a lot of entities on screen at once, it might not be able to do it at the moment, you know, due to being unoptimized and everything. But yeah, catch me if you can, motherfucker. Alright, let's go into Snowman Cave. Sick. Okay. Well, that's this feature done. Alright, time to check that off the old to-do list. Done. Well, only an hour has gone by though, so let's see what else I can do in that time. There's plenty of to-dos and things. A neat extension of this that could be added in the future is like patrol routes, so that NPCs walk certain patrols. You know, Oh, one thing that I never added to the to-do list, but should be done for sure, is lights. Okay. Let me do that. Lighting. Okay. Okay. Okay, that should take care of the saving and loading. Except we need to add types. Please. Wait, whoops. Yeah, okay. So now lights should be savable. doesn't save the global illumination of the chunk yet, does it? Yep. Yep. GI is, what was that? It's a color, okay. In completely different news that have absolutely nothing to do with my game development, I bought Dragon Quest Builders 2 and played that a bunch today. Or, well, not a bunch, but a couple of hours. And it was really good. It's really good. It's a nice game. If you're into buildy things, definitely recommend it. I have it on the Switch. It's sometimes the frames get a bit crusty, but it's still a really, really good game. Okay. So... oh, right. Let me just quickly fix that up myself. Regions, space, data. Oh shit, that's selective. Whoops. Let me just quickly restart. I have not made any further progress on the UI stuff since yesterday, so I don't know if I need to, but yeah, definitely. I was almost considering not doing this tonight and just starting with that instead, but I think we can do that tomorrow. So starting tomorrow, probably I'm gonna be working on a new UI toolkit library, which is going to be a big project. It'll be separate from the game for a while. Yeah. Okay, let me just see. So, I would ideally like it if I could select things inside the editor as well, but I cannot. Or in the very least, it refuses to select lights, and I don't quite know why. Where is the selection thing happening anyway? Entity at point. How does that work? Let's just trace it. Entity at point, region, clear, junk, trapezoid light, returns no. Why? Where is it? Base entity container. Okay. Is that not a base entity? What is the light located entity? And base entity. Okay. Let's try that then. Still no cigar. So it is hitting that. For some reason, contain P is failing. Contain P is D. Okay. Guess I can just add a thing for that. Scan. Well, actually, you can use better methods than the B size in this now, which is good. Smaller or equal V minus point location weights XY. Wait. We Okay, let's execute that. Can't lie, it's a bit more annoying. Should we not have B-sides in here at all? Maybe we should. Okay, and now I need to calculate whether the point within the circle has the valid angle. So how do I do this again? I forget. Angle. I think we need a tan 2 or something. Yeah. And finally for the cone trapezoid light, we need the same. Well, not quite the same. The angle is correct and our Y is correct, so... if we have... give me a second. I forget if the top makes a difference or not. As in if the height is offset by the top or not. Psi. So that's T. Why is it not checking anymore? What is happening? I don't understand. Why is it no longer doing the thing? Oh, Emacs was doing a good thing. Thanks, Emacs. Where's the other prints at? Oh right, you need to be doing currently playing for Chimera in the chat. Sorry. Okay, so that test works fine. The angle is not correct. Zero. Point angle is negative 1.5. Need to debug this real quick. Too many dots. What do you? What? Does it need to be unit size? Is that a problem? Let's see, 0, 0, or x1, 0. Okay, that's not quite what I expected. Did I rotate things somehow? Because the angle was 0, and still it was pointing downwards, so I don't understand that part. Why was the angle there? No, I don't see anything. Weird. Yeah, I don't get why the angle is. 0. Don't rotate that shit somewhere. Really weird. I don't understand how the animal is 0. And it's still showing the line correctly. 'Cause yeah, it is working correctly. Normalized, that's nice. I don't get it. So hold on, let's test with the cone light first. Radius. Yeah, it's pointing downwards somehow, even though the angle is 0 and it should point this way. That is weird. Okay, so now we have it selected. What is the calling size for? Why is it? What? Why is it calling size on that? Oh, I see why. Yeah. Still strange. Shouldn't need that at all. Should it? Yeah, I shouldn't. The reason I don't see the dragging is because there's one update thingy. There we go. I'm in the spotlight. I'm in the corner. Losing my religion. I should become a singer. Don't you hear that voice? That beautiful. Okay. Still don't get why the angle is weird. That is bizarre. Very, very weird. Why is... Did I mix up X and Y somehow? Is that what's happening? Does that need to be cost first and then sign that afterwards? Nope, not at all. Why is that the case? So strange. So strange. I mean, for my specific purposes, this is actually not bad, because typically the lights should point downwards. It's just confusing that it's not the case. That it's, you know, angle 0 is pointing to the right. And I think I'm just gonna fix it here. This is half pi, right? Should be the correct thing. Else I required. What do you mean? Fuck was that? Fuck. Does the light environment, I don't think it has easy way to retrieve light. Yeah, okay. Oh, right, this should be... Anyway. There we go. There we go, now we're proper. Now we're cooking. Except the selection doesn't work anymore. Why not? What the fuck? Okay. Wait, what? Why is it now? Why is it not doing the thing at all? What? Ah, fuck you, Emacs. God damn you, piece of shit. Fucking hell. So it's pretty much 0. I don't understand. Just give the crackdown back, so... Why is the selection not working? What is going on, motherfucker?
Bass screaming budgie.
Why is it detecting it above where it really is? Oh wait, no it doesn't. Is it the positioning that's wrong? What? Oh, wait. No, that's correct. What the fuck? Why is that nil, motherfucker? The light does have absolute positioning, doesn't it? What? Excuse me. What in the fucking hell is this? What? How is it 0? See, now I'm moving it correctly. So confused. What is this? Oh. Wait, how is this even possible? Huh? How can I... Oh my god. Okay. That's an interesting one. Safety 0, huh? Yeah, alright. Safety 0. Oh my god, okay. Or in the very least, I think that's what's happening. Somehow, I turned a fucking class into a vector. Amazing. There should be checks though, I thought there were. Weird. Anyway, okay, so I can select that and I can move it around, and it's nice. Okay, good. Now let's enter a trapezoid light with a height of and the top of and an aperture and an angle of -45, and it's gonna have a color of 100. Okay, selecting this now does not work as expected. Probably for similar reasons. So that was... Oh, right, we don't have the angle fix in yet. Which is weird. Oh my god. Please. Hello, Lukey Cold. welcome to the stream. What? Why is that one? Trapezoid light seems to be doing the right thing, question mark maybe, perhaps? Not entirely sure. Let me do this damage. Let's go okay. This is, what part of this should I explain? The engine is custom, yes. That's kind of what I'm working on right now, yeah. And the game is called, well, there's a project name, but I've spent hours trying to find a good name and have failed utterly so far. So still just called by its sort of prototype name, I guess, which is Leaf. But that has almost absolutely nothing to do with what the game is, so it's not a good name. Okay. Now, why is this stuff behaving odd? Wait, what? Also not right. Why is this? This is all weird. Wait, no, -9. Okay, no, it's correct now. Now it is indeed correct. Okay. Good. Now I should also be able to select that and move it about. Okay, nice. Okay. Yeah, I should also add things like resizing for the lights and whatever, but I'm very hesitant on adding more features in the current stage of the editor. Still have the UI toolkit. The lines make it look really complicated. The lines are related to what I implemented earlier today. So these lines here inside the chunks are just designators for what kind of solid it is. So just a solid block or a slope or a jump through platform. And then the other lines are lines that are part of the waypoint graph that's calculated from the geometry. And this is used to do automated movement. So for instance, I can tell the player to move over here and it'll do it. And that's what I've implemented earlier today, or refined earlier today. Right. Go there. There you go. Anyway, that's just debug stuff. Right now, I'm trying to figure out a better way of incorporating lighting into the engine, or into the editor rather. That's less awkward to place things. But yeah, I'm out of time for tonight at least. Probably fiddle some more with this on my own tomorrow, because I don't like a lot of things about this. I don't like that it's doing the grid snapping. That's bad. I'd like to be able to freeform that. Grid snapping is good for certain things, but not for others. So I'm going to need to implement a way of specifying whether you want grid snaps or not, depending on what you got selected. And then, yeah, resizing of lights will be tremendously useful. Small improvements that I'm gonna actually note down real quick. Fix me. Note the offset on text. Okay. Let me save what I have. I don't think I need to commit this stuff. Just do that. Alrighty. Wait, I should add that. Okay. Well, that was it for tonight. Yeah. So, I'm looking at my to-do list here, and there's a lot of things that depend on a UI being present. So I think, and there's a lot of things that are just minor that I could do as a one-off at some point, but I don't feel they're very important right now, and I would like to focus on important things. So, starting tomorrow, we're going to be working on a new project, a side project from this, that will
User interface toolkit is go.
That will be working with a new independent library for creating native UIs in Lisp. It'll be without a backend at first, so it won't be anything that can draw stuff, but we'll be adding a backend later. Anyway, that's the future prospect. Expect the UI toolkit to take a bunch of streams to do, especially the rendering part and all of the logic for text handling and everything. That is going to take a long time. So that's gonna be what'll happen in the next few streams. I might mix things up here and then just so it's not too much of the same stuff all the time. But yeah. Anyway, thanks again for sticking around, as always, and see you guys tomorrow.